Good afternoon, everyone. Pat Zemer here with Magna Wave and a Magna Wave Wellness Webinar. Magna Wave Wellness Webinar. That's a mouthful, but we're glad you're here, and we're going to have a great time today. We're going to be with Pilar Davila, who is a she's a cancer survivor, and she's got a wonderful story to share with us about that and how she used PEMF therapy in her healing process. And then she's become a personal coach to people with wellness issues, and she covers a lot of different things: migraines, stomach issues, autism, depression, many different things that she approaches through her practice and her healing and wellness protocols that she has. So what I'd like to do is introduce you to Pilar Davila, and she's going to have a good time with us, and we're looking forward to a great interview. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Great. So happy to be here.
Yeah, and we're glad you're here too, Pilar. Can you tell us, you might as well just jump straight in. Let me do a couple of things here first for our audience. If you'd like to ask a question, the chat window is open, so you can go in and post a question in the chat window on your webinar page, and we'd be happy to answer those questions as we go along. And she's full of answers. Perhaps I can bring some help to the answers when it starts dealing with PEMF and how PEMF works, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, Pilar, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then please share your story.
Well, I'm from Austin, Texas. Was born in Brownsville, Texas, the Valley. And I've been here in Austin 24 years. Had a very hectic life, stress like everybody else, very unhealthy diet. And in 2010, I was diagnosed with ovarian stromal sarcoma, 2 big tumors in my left ovary. I followed what the doctor said, had a full hysterectomy, did what he said. But what people don't know is when you have cancer, you have to take care of your body. You have to prevent. Prevention is a cure. So 2014, here it comes again. I get diagnosed with metastasis, terminal cancer, inoperable, incurable. I call MD Anderson. I called many different places. I went to different oncologists, and there was nothing they could do because of the type of cancer. So I decided to do research, but not only read, but travel and find answers. I went to a well-known clinic in Irvine, California, and that's where I first saw the PMF device. I just followed what the doctor said, and she said, you need to do this therapy, let's do it every day, but I was only there 4 days. I do PMF for 20 minutes, 3 days in a row, and I expelled a piece of the tumor that was in my colon. I had 2 tumors in my liver, pelvic area, and a 5-centimeter tumor in my colon. And after those 3 treatments, I felt amazing. I came to that clinic in pain, tired, and scared. My 4th day, I had energy. I'm like, let's go shopping. I'm in California. Let's go walking. And my friend that took me was like, what's wrong with you? And then he said, it's that device, that PMF device. I said, I'm already doing the diet, the supplements, but I was not seeing results. The missing link was the PMF machine.
May I ask, when you went to the clinic, mm-hmm. and did you do anything in addition to the PMF while you were there? You were already on supplements and a special diet that you shared with us. Did you do anything else at the clinic other than the PEMF?
The 3rd day second day, they did a vitamin C infusion, IV with vitamin. That's it. But PMF helps the vitamins, the infusions, the supplements absorb better. So that's why the combination was a healing balm, I call it. But I feel amazing. And I said, I need to continue with this therapy. People don't understand. There's no magic. You have to continue doing the therapy for prevention. Prevention is a cure. So I found somebody that had a machine like it. It was a PMF from like 2002 or 3. And I started going 3 times a week for 5 months. I go get an MRI, and the tumor shrank 60%. And that's when I
Wow.
said 60% or more. And I said, I have to have this. I have to get this. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm getting this device. So I did. And I started treating other people for different things. But I started doing PMF on myself 5 times a week for 30 minutes. No side effects. The worst side effect would be chills and fatigue, because it was a healing crisis. I was feeling better after it. So here comes 5 months later, another MRI. One tumor disappeared that was 3.4 centimeters. The one that was 6.9 centimeters went to like 2.8. And the ones in the pelvic area, gone. So in 1 year, I got rid of all these tumors, terminal, about, I would say, 80, 90%. It's been 3 years. Everything's gone. About 4 months ago, there was only 1 centimeter left in my liver, which used to be 6.9 centimeters 3 years ago. It is I think that people, instead of buying a huge TV for their home, every family should have a PMF device. It is the most amazing way of healing your body and preventing.
So you have continued this now. You're 3 years, what you would call clean, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Remission. And so you treated yourself for how long before you reached this stage? And you probably continue to treat yourself today, correct?
Oh, yes. I saw results after 5, 6 months, then a year, amazing results. And I treat myself now 5 times a week, 10 to 15 minutes only, 5 times a week. I take a 2-day break.
And how much intensity do you use when you treat yourself? Do you
low to medium?
Low to medium. So it'll be very quick, click, 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 to a click, 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 click type of signal that you're administering for 10 minutes. Yes. Where do you treat? Do you treat various places? Do you treat from the back, from the front? Tell me. You got your coil.
I'll show you what I'm going to do.
Perfect.
Okay. So this is what I do. I get this size and I put it on my liver like this. Stomach and liver. And also I sit on the coil every other day, but I treat the liver and I sit on it because of the tumor that was in the colon. And I'll tell you this wonderful thing. 15 times I've expelled pieces of tumor. I'm about to get a colonoscopy at the end of the month. And I know there's probably nothing left, because I already had 2 colonoscopies, and the second one, which was a year after my diagnosis, from the big tumor that was 5 centimeters, there were little bitty like balls there, clean, just a little bit left. And this is September, almost 2 years ago. So wow. I'm due, but I have a lot of energy. I had a sciatica problem since I was 25, gone. The energy level is great. My hormones are balanced, no back pain. I mean, it just works in so many ways because it works at a cellular level.
So let me ask, when you got to yourself to where you considered yourself in remission, what were you doing prior to this? What was your profession prior to this?
I used to be an artist.
Okay.
But I've always loved nutrition and helping women and helping others.
So go ahead.
So this is my call in life. It's like the old Pilar stayed back there with the toxic life. And the new Pilar, this is the new Pilar. And even my sister, my family tell me that. I feel like a new person, like born again.
Isn't that, they say we have two lives to live, one that we learn with and the one we live after we have learned.
I believe it now.
Absolutely. So you find yourself in what you consider a state of remission. And then what happened next? I mean, I know you continued your treat, you continued to feel good and get well, but what took you to the avenue that now you're a health coach?
Okay, so I went back to school. I took online classes. It took me about 14 months to finish. While I was not feeling very well, I was going to school. And I started helping people. People will come from other parts of Texas here so I can show my protocol. I have a protocol that I teach when you are diagnosed, not when you're dying, but when you're first diagnosed. I teach you how to eat right, what supplements to take, how to detox your body, how to equip your house with the right things to heal. So I became a wellness coach and found that that is my call, my passion. And this became a business, if you want to call it, my job, 24/7. I love it. And a lot of people are feeling better. But like I said, when you first get diagnosed, you have to start the treatment. Not when they have done chemo and surgery and radiation and you're dying, or it's not too late, but that's when you really have to buy a device right away or do your therapy 5 times a week.
Let me ask, when you were first diagnosed, or when you first went to the clinic in California, did you totally go off chart to treat yourself, or did they do some what would be standardized treatments that people are experiencing today?
Okay, so they wanted me to stay there for 3 weeks. I have called, when I was diagnosed, I called 6 different alternative clinics, and they all start at $18,000 to $60,000 to stay there for 2 weeks. And I said, who can do that? Buy a PMF machine, buy your supplements. You can do it at home. So I decided I'll have to do this at home. Instead of spending $28,000, $30,000, $40,000 and staying in a clinic for 2 weeks, that are going to do PMF, detox, supplements, infrared sauna, stuff like that, do it at home. Because in 2 weeks, you are not going to get better. You are just there to learn, and it's a high price to pay, I think. I think that you can do this at home. I know I coach a lot of people that have been to many different clinics, mostly in Tijuana, and they get home and they say, what do I do now? The tumor didn't shrink in 2 weeks. That's impossible. So I don't want to say I've sold. People from seeing the example I've sold about 10 PMF devices that people now have at their house and treat their families. I know a little kid that was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and she was not even 8 years old. The father decided to buy the device, and she is doing so much better. She can walk. She's doing great in less than a year and a half, like about a year, isn't it? But she bought the bigger device, the PMF.
So supplements and diet plays a large role in your protocol, in what you recommend for people to do. Now, we need to certainly say, and for everybody's well-being and safety here, that you cannot guarantee any results, and this is all stuff. This is stuff that is personal recommendations and your personal experience, and people need to take that and understand it and ask whatever questions they have at that particular time. This is you sharing your story and how effective it's been on you and others that and others that you've been in contact with. And I certainly know that a lot of people over the years have used various methods and means, but yours has been incredibly successful from that type of standpoint. So how do people get in touch? You certainly have a website that you utilize, and I can pull that up in a moment if you'd like me to show what the website is. It's healing with Pilar.com. Right. and I'll put that in the message center so people can see that and go there and read more about your protocols and your services that you provide and how it works for you. So you got started. This became a passion and it became a business. How many people have you dealt with at this point in time with your various recommendations for their health and wellness?
Hundreds of people, because I also coach online. I have people from Germany, Canada, India, everywhere in the United States. I coach a lot of people from the United States and Mexico, mostly because I'm bilingual. But I'll tell you this, Pat, I never did chemo or radiation. They gave me some medicine. I took it for a month in 2011, ended up in the hospital because it affects your liver and your bones and also your memory. So all the medications that the oncologist gave me, I stopped taking. After I started doing my protocol, I don't take any prescription meds, herbs, supplements, minerals, nourishment, the right diet, things like that. But I don't take medication. But also I want people to know that I never did chemotherapy. So that's why that really helped, because my body was not weak. My immune system was weak, but it was stronger than others. You know, chemotherapy really destroys your immune system.
Interesting. I think I probably ought to for a second here, Pilar, kind of talk about a little bit about what PEMF does and to the body. I mean, it's not a thing to where we treat a specific condition. We can't say that we automatically shrink tumors or do anything like that. But what it does by the mechanism of putting this magnetic field into the body, it basically allows the body to better oxygenate itself, allows the blood cells to become very well oxygenated. The white blood cells are very healthy and large. The toxins are released from the cells. And I always say when people ask me this, well, so you're applying this to the body in specific areas, what are you doing? And I say, well, good oxygenated blood can work miracles. And we're not doing anything. We're just allowing the body to maybe feel better, be healthier, take on more oxygen, and better do its job to heal itself. And I think that comes into play when you're using a very similar protocol on a lot of different indications. Is that the case?
Yes, yes. My protocol is the same for everybody. Because
regardless if they're suffering depression or autism or whatever it may be, you're just making the body healthier to better deal with its particular problems.
Yes, what varies is the supplements. That's it. But PMF, I mean, my memory is better. I don't do hormone replacement. I had a full hysterectomy. I'm in my late 40s. I am amazed of how I feel. In my 20s, I felt awful. I was always tired. I wake up early at 7 and I have energy all day. That's like, and every single person that I treat, let me tell you what they tell me, more energy, less anxiety, and sleep better. There's people that are using it for prevention, which are very few. People wait, unfortunately, until it's like the last resort. But my protocol can help.
I've got a story for you.
Oh, I love those. I can imagine. The protocol works for everybody. This protocol works for everybody. And you have to do it for 6 months. If you have cancer, you have to do it for a year. And do it. There's no skipping from 1 to 10. I'm going to skip step 2 and 3 to get to 10. You have to follow exactly. Most people just want to do a couple of things. No, you have to follow it. But the main thing here is PMF. That is, to me, what gave it the push for me to heal. Because I was doing everything and everything was moving really slow. And I was really afraid because they gave me the death sentence that I was going to live maybe 6 months to go home and be happy because they couldn't do surgery. MD Anderson didn't have trials. Nothing. They couldn't do anything. So take one day at a time, the surgeon oncologist told me. Because I can operate. It's in the liver. It's in the colon. It's in places that it's going to spread. And I said, I'm not going to give up. And I am so glad I didn't.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk for a minute, if we may. You said the varying thing in your protocols are the supplements. So let's talk about migraines, for example. I understand that you have a lot of success with your protocol on folks that suffer migraines. What do you do there?
Okay, so diet, less animal protein. I give him magnesium and potassium. I swear by moringa. I have my own brand of moringa, which is called the Tree of Life. And it comes from Thailand, India, Mexico, different places. Mine is organic. And that's like a vitamin because it has a lot of amino acids and minerals and vitamins, high in vitamin C and protein. So that is their vitamin. But magnesium, potassium, we all have deficiencies because of the way we eat. We are malnourished. We are malnourished. We don't eat vegetables. We don't eat fruits. We don't even know what we're eating because there's a lot of fast food restaurants and people are on the go and they eat a lot of fast food. I used to be that person. So diet, I think minerals are very important. Yes. You think, oh, I'm busy and I don't know what to order at a Mexican restaurant. There is always options. And that's why I teach people if they go to an Italian restaurant or Mexican restaurant, I teach them what to order, stuff like that.
Okay. So, what supplement do you, again, let's stay with migraine for a minute. What supplements do you recommend with someone that's suffering migraines?
Okay. So first check their hormones, get a hormonal profile with their doctor and see where their vitamin D is, their levels. I tell them to walk, stretch, go out in the sun, get vitamin D, magnesium, potassium, moringa, which is the supplement that I'm telling you about, probiotics, because most of the time, migraines come from a very toxic colon. So, yes, drink a lot of water. You'll be surprised how many people don't drink water. And I complain of constipation or headaches.
Right. That's amazing how you match that up. And I want to look at some other conditions and maybe talk about how you use different supplementation for that. But I was asked a question. Fred asks, which device do you have? You have the Max, I believe. Is that correct?
I have the Max. Yes. Yeah. I have the most, we use a potent one or medical one.
But now you also, I know that some of your clients have used the semi machine, which is about half the strength of the Max, and they have also gotten similar or very good results with your protocol.
Yes, everybody that is renting or bought the machine or treating themselves are seeing results. One of my clients just called me. She had a tumor in her eye, and it was supposed to grow really fast. They couldn't do surgery. She's had the machine for almost 3 months. Just called me. Her results are wonderful. She's doing great. It has not grown. The doctor was very surprised. And she's doing the protocol. But she's following it like it's supposed to. So it has really helped her. The only thing she feels is fatigue. But maybe, I said, you need to drink a lot of water when you do PMF. It's very important.
Yes, hydration is critical when you're using these types of devices. And friends, if you have any questions, simply put them in the chat box, and we'd be very happy to read them. One of the folks is saying, "Too bad they don't have good internet every time there's a webinar." Well, that seems, yeah. But there's going to be a replay, and then we're also going to have this on our Facebook page, so it'll be available for folks to see in its entirety in various different ways as we move along. So, here's one of my stories, or my story with regard to this. And I got to tell the whole story. My father was a funeral director, and he died without a will. Imagine that. The person that should know what to have and how to do this. But at any rate, so here I am. I have all these devices and I use them, but I basically don't feel bad. So I don't have any back pain. So I really didn't use my devices much. So I go for my physical last year, and they get in, and my PSA is high. So they're thinking, okay, we need to check your prostate. And so they do the physical prostate check, and you're swollen up and your PSA is high. So let's go see a urologist. And so I went to the urologist, and he did his tests and gave me some pills to say, let's see if this makes the inflammation go away over the next 2 weeks. And I went back, and it didn't. And so that it had not gone away to the point that he was happy. So he said, well, let's do an ultrasound. So I said, okay. So I went in for the ultrasound. What I didn't tell them that immediately upon this whole story beginning, I went home and started treating myself, or to the office, treating myself twice a day, in the morning and the evening for about 15 to 20 minutes on a moderate type setting. I used the Semi device, and I also used the Max device and the Maya. But I treated myself twice a day, and I also was taking our hydrowave oxygenated water,
which is wonderful,
amazing. Drinking that regularly. So went in for my the ultrasound, and he said, yes, there's something there. I think we need to go do a biopsy. I don't know what it's going to be, but let's do that. And this whole thing took about 2.5 months. Now I need to say that all of my family, all of my brothers, my surviving brothers, have had some form of prostate issue with surgery or removal or that type of situation. So I was always knocking on wood. And so I thought, here I go. It's family. It happens. Let's, I guess this is going to happen. And so they went through the process, got ready to do the biopsy, took 12 samples. A week goes by, he calls me, and I'd been treating myself, as I said, regularly for twice a day for the 2.5 months. He said, yes, there was something there. It's dead and it's benign. And so I was, very pleased at that point. And so, but knowing that there's something there, you certainly want to continue to treat yourself. And that's what I've done for the last year. I treat myself very regularly, not as regular or as serious as what you do 5 days a week, but I do treat myself very regularly for my prostate and my colon, the whole 9 yards. And to me, that's a pretty happy ending to a scary situation.
Yeah. You got to use it for life. I treat my daughters. They're 10 and 15. They ate pizza and they're like, we need PMF. It's hilarious. And Mama, I ate pizza. I need PMF. And they know how to turn it on. They do it 10 minutes, digestion, and I treated the whole thing. I treated puppies that the bed couldn't do anything but give them medication. And with 3 treatments, little bitty Chihuahua running when they couldn't walk. So you have to do it all the time, even if it's twice a week after you're better. But like I say, every family is the future of healing. Every family should have a device. We talk about it all the time in my family.
So tell me, we've talked about autism, and you say you've had some success with folks that are autistic. Tell me about what you do there.
Well, they start doing the treatment. People want it to work really fast. They come, let's say, 6 times a month or 10 times a month, but they don't continue. They do it maybe 3, 4, 5 months, and then they stop. Because autism, unfortunately, is something that you cannot completely heal, right? But what I saw is after the 3rd, 4th, or 5th treatment, kids start talking. They start saying little words. And kids that didn't want to talk before or couldn't talk before, also calm and playing more with their toys. Also regular bowel movements, but calm, wanting to express more. There was a little kid that he never wanted to talk, and he didn't say a word, but he was pulling his mom and said, and wanted to say a word. Another kid, just all of the blue, he never wanted to talk. He started saying Shrek, Shrek, and repeating the same word over and over.
Right.
After his 4th treatment, a lot of stimulation. But I remember one case, the kid, we had to chase him all over the place to get him to sit down or lay down. I also had the mat. He could not do it. By the 4th treatment, he would just go and sit down or lay down and let me do it. And he was just calm because he also had a little bit of hyperactivity. So that's what I see more, just being able to talk more, calm, and bowel movements. That's what I say with autism.
Wow. And that, you talk about the well-being and all of a sudden wanted to calm down or wanted to talk. we had a client. He came. He had had a stroke several years earlier. Had had a stroke, and he had been at the Fraser Rehabilitation Center here in Kentucky for his speech. He looked fine. His physical recovery was excellent. He just had a condition called aphasia, and so he could not make sentences. He couldn't pull specific words. And after 3 years, he was finished. Fraser Rehab had said, and they did a great job, by the way, with him. He was doing really well, but this is all we can do. And so his wife said, do you think PMF would help? And so we got to thinking about it. He started coming in. This gentleman gets treated daily. And we treated his area of his head for cognition and the area of the head where he had his damage. And over about a 6-month period, we increased his ability to speak about 40% better than what it was. And it had improved. He could make sentences. He could say his children's names. He could be outside with his wife and say butterfly and things like that he had not been able to do. He was a concert promoter at one time, and in a previous life I played music, and he would always want to talk about Jimmy Buffett. He did concerts with Jimmy Buffett, and he'd have to show me Jimmy Buffett's name on a piece of paper. Then he got to the point he could come into my office and say, Jimmy Buffett, and he'd point to some of my music stuff around. And so we'd kind of talk music, and it was just really wonderful. So, but again, after 6 or 7 months, we got to the point that I wasn't sure that he was going to improve that much more with his speech. And so we kind of said, we talked and told his wife, he doesn't have to continue to come if this isn't, and she said, oh no, you don't understand. He is not depressed. He has no depression. He's a happy man. Even though he has trouble speaking, he's a happy individual. And that's where we got started on the issue of depression, which I want to ask you about what you've seen with your clients and your people with regard to depression. So here's a man that had a stroke, and we improved his speech, and it's still getting better. His speech and his cognition is still getting better, but his moods are incredibly good. So tell us a little bit about your experience with depression.
Okay, I've had a few people, and a lot of kids are like in their early 20s that suffer from depression, and they will come either 6 to 8 times a month, depending. Women with menopause. And I remember this one lady, she had cancer, a melanoma, and she couldn't move her arm, but she also was menopausal. And she came in, she was in a bad mood. She did not feel like herself. She would come 3 times a month, 3 in a row, every month. She still does. It's been maybe 6, 7 months. After her second month, a new woman in a good mood, smiling. She can move her arm. And her boss said, what are you doing different? I see you smiling. I see you're in a good mood. It changed her life that she keeps coming every month, 3 times a month. And it's like a completely different woman, just because it really helped with depression. And I'm an example because I don't do hormone therapy, and full hysterectomy so young, it's not pleasant. You get very depressed. I was very depressed when it happened in 2010. It has helped me tremendously with feeling happy, at ease, calm, no depression whatsoever. Very little bitty mood swings like every woman, but not really. Well, who else can I tell you? I mean, there's a few people that say they couldn't sleep because their mind kept going and they couldn't turn off their thoughts, and it helped them to feel at ease. And some people come 6 times a month for prevention, like I said, but less anxiety, less depression, energy. That's what I've heard from people that were feeling anxious or depressed.
That's absolutely incredible. So tell me, Pilar, you mentioned earlier, I believe you do consultations by phone?
Phone, via FaceTime or Skype. And if they're in person, the consultation is about an hour, and then I give them free 20 minutes. It's included of PMF, so they can try it. And I can tell you, everybody's happy. Everybody that tries PMF, 90-some-5% are happy and continue doing it.
That's incredible. Now, how does someone get in touch with you? Obviously, let me pull up your website here, then you can tell me, and we'll also post it so people can get your information. So here is your website. Can you see that on your screen?
No, I can. There it is.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
there
There's
it
a
is.
little bit of a
I
delay.
see.
There's a little bit of a delay. So here's your website, and your whole thing is to detox, nourish, and energize. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. You first have to detox your body, then you have to nourish it with the right supplements and food diet, and energize is PMF and light exercise.
I see.
Even if you break a sweat every day, is good. That's good enough. But PMF has to be done for, I tell them, 90 days, depending on what they're treating, 6 months to a year. Not once a month. One treatment is going to relax you. It's going to make you feel good. But if you want to heal, if you want to get rid of the issue you're having a problem with, you have to continue with your therapies. That's why I recommend, if you're coming to me to do treatments, you might as well buy a device. Have it at home. And everybody that has bought a device is so happy. Is so glad they invested in that. And with you, they can rent. You have you finance, which is great. I mean, you make it very easy, which I'm very grateful because, and my clients are too.
And this is not a commercial.
It's not. It is everything has been with my heart. I mean, I was always.
Our whole goal here is to educate and to bring people up to speed as to what PEMF can do for them to help them be healthier and happier and live very, very happy lives full of wellness. And so they can get in touch with you via your email, which is on your website. I posted on here, healingwithpilar.com. And
yes.
Do you prefer that they contact you by email and then set up a Skype interview or something like that?
Email, and then my phone number is there. But this is one little thing that I ask, if they can text me first and then I can call. I get so many calls from everywhere. You have no idea. I can't answer the phone all the time.
Right.
But yes, text.
What is your phone number, Pilar?
Area code 512-201-0092. And I can answer any question. I love questions. I love sharing this because to me it's a miracle. It's a lot of work. But I never thought 3 years ago when I was so sad when they gave me those news that I was going to live maybe 6 months. There was nothing they could do. That almost 3.5 years later, 3 years and 3 months later, I feel amazing. I have energy. I can help others. But I will continue with this for the rest of my life. You have to change your lifestyle.
Right. Well, that's incredible. So they can text you, then set up a call via the text. Maybe they can tell you a little bit about what they want, what they're looking for in the text. They can go to your website and read all about the various protocols and what you recommend and what you do, and then contact you through your website, of course.
Yes.
And then you're certainly available. May I ask how do you charge for your services?
How much do I charge for my services?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's an hour and a half, $75 for the coaching, the class, and 20 minutes of PMF, because I want this to be at the reach of anybody that wants to do it. I'm bilingual, so it's English and Spanish. And what I found out when I was sick, and I'm like, how am I going to pay for all these alternative treatments, is that a lot of doctors or nutritionists, for 15 minutes of coaching via Skype, they charge $300. I don't think that's fair.
I was going to say you're very reasonable at $75 for an hour and a half. I mean, that's incredible to get that type of coaching.
Because I want to help. And I want people to really follow the protocol and do it right. It's not something that you can message me and I can give you the whole protocol. It's impossible.
Right.
Make an appointment and try PMF, but also know the protocol and follow it, with detail. And you can heal your body. It takes time, but you can do it.
Sure. Well, I think it's very intriguing, and your information is incredible, and for someone to go to your website and learn that, and you're so personable, and I'm sure that anybody can call you, and when they get on the Skype with you, very comfortable to share their feelings with you and share what's going on in their life, which is very important, and I commend you for that. I mean, when you took the passion to do this and to help people, I think is wonderful, and I really do. My hat's off to you.
Thank you so much. And to care, to listen. I'm not a doctor. I'm a wellness coach, but I'm somebody that has suffered so much. Cancer is an awful disease. And people that say cancer free, no. Once you get diagnosed, you have to take care of your body. It comes back. I see it over and over and over and over, and people don't listen. I was one of those. You know, I did whatever I wanted. I smoke, drink, eat a horrible diet, the opposite of now. Yeah, and it's okay. I don't judge because I've been on both sides.
Right.
I just want to help. This is my job, you know, and I spread the message. I also give seminars, English and Spanish. I'm doing my little tour in Texas right now. It starts at the end of August. And I'm going to go to Laredo, McAllen, San Antonio. I do private classes. They're about 2 hours, and I bring the PMF device so people can understand it, because they see it and they don't understand it. They think it's shocks, and that's it.
You know, two things. We probably want to wrap up here because we don't want to make it so long that people aren't going to watch, but people will be able to get in touch with you. But I want to invite you to come to MagnaCon next year and speak and educate folks at our annual event so they can learn more and help our people help more people as well. And I think that would be wonderful. Also, if you'd be so kind, let me know your schedule for your tour, and we will also put it on the Facebook page and the pages that we operate so people can know where you're going to be and potentially come out and see you and participate. Would that be good?
I would love to. I'm also working on a book. I just started. That takes forever, but I'm working on a very short book on what works for anybody that wants to prevent. My kids, one was diagnosed with ADHD, with allergies. She is a new girl. She does PMF. She takes probiotics. She doesn't eat red meat. You know, she followed the protocol, but in a very realistic way, because she's 15.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But balance, and magnesium, potassium, everything else. But they learn from example.
Well, don't forget, ask me to, I'll be happy to help you with your book. I've been blessed to be a 3-time #1 bestseller with some different books, and I would be more than happy to share some tricks of the trade that I picked up along the way. So let's do that.
Yes, I would love to. I would love to.
Pilar, I really thank you so much for being with us. I think it's been a wonderful time. Folks, go to her website, healingwithpilar.com, and learn more about her. And if she can help you, please reach out to her, and she'd be more than happy to help you attain the wellness that you're looking for in your life. So, Pilar, thank you very much, and we look forward to doing this again.
Of course. Thank you, Pat, very much for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.